Welcome back to Satisfactory Project Nuclear Overdrive, and this is a pretty sweet view, but the fog is pretty intense. So if we were to get rid of the fog, that's pretty sweet. Look at that view. There's been a lot of work done in this area. That looks so cool. Come on, that looks really cool. That is a shot of a lifetime. A lot of work has been done. But we're not done yet. We still have half of the platform left. And we're going to start filling up this area. And what we need to do is we need to reserve some space for nuclear power plants. So I'll just kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking. We want to get nuclear power as close, we want to get the power plants as close to the water as we possibly can, because it needs a lot of water. And look at how massive these things are. If you've watched previous episodes, you'll know I complained about the size of these. But yeah, if we just get an idea for scale, we can plop one down and we can look on the map here. So you get an idea. We might have to do... my guess is all the nuclear power plants are going to be lined up right here. So that's my guess. We're going to have to do buildings over here for the actual nuclear step. And this is the first step. This is the first step. So I do have an idea of how I want to lay out these buildings. But I kind of need to show you what that would be. I wonder if it's in here. I gotta see if I can find one. Yeah, that radiation. I wonder if we could get a building set up to look like that. That would be really cool. I don't know if I can do it, but we do have 3 steps to the uranium. So we have to do... I'll plop down the buildings here so you can kind of see. So we need manufacture, and blender. So in this episode, we're going to do infused uranium cells and uranium fuel unit. So we're going to be doing these 2 this episode. In the following episode, we're going to do, non-fissile uranium. This right here. So that'll take our uranium waste and then combine it with some nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and silica. And we can get this squared away. So, in theory, this could make up our 3 wings, which would be pretty cool. But what would I do in the center? That's a great question, because I have no idea. I really have no idea. And is it going to take way too much room in this area? Maybe. I don't know. That might be a problem. So, I'm going to have to, try to lay something out and see if it works. If it doesn't, I'm a little doomed. But I also need to worry about sulfuric acid. Not in this episode, but the next episode, because this will require sulfuric acid. So I only need 20 refineries of that. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Whereas these manufacturers, I need 84 of both. I need 84 of both of these manufacturers, which is insane. That is insane. But the thing is we could actually start producing this today. We could start producing encased uranium cells. We could start producing uranium fuel rods today. It'd be insane to do that, but we could start doing it today. So, yeah, I mean, the question is, how am I going to design it? And how much space am I going to need? Because the answer is quite a bit. 84 manufacturers, that's a lot. I could split it by floors and make it look like this. I could possibly do that. I don't know. So I think the only thing I can really do is try to do something. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try it. All right. And then maybe I'll also start setting up some of the nuclear power plants so I can get an idea of how much space I actually need. Because I need lots and lots of power plants. Lots and lots. So, yeah, let me work something out. Let me see what I can do. And I'll be right back with you. Alright, I think I have a shape of a building that I would like to go with. And it's a little complicated. So, if we look at the map, we can see we kind of got this square on the outside with a little bit of some corners, some diagonal corners, and then a nice donut ring in the middle. So my thought is I'll put all the manufacturers in this donut ring here, and we'll kind of go around the circle, and then all the trains bringing in the uranium and sulfur will stick to the outside on these square platforms here. So that was my plan. I do need like 7 trains to come through here, so it's a little nuts. I will need 2 floors for this. So I was thinking, for the trains I should say, I was thinking if I knock out all of this in the middle, we could have this open to the water. That would be really cool. And then we have a train roundabout on the outside. And then we use the inner to be a little spiral to go up to another train roundabout. I think that'd be pretty cool. So that's kind of my thoughts there. It'll take a while to set up, so I'll have to do that off camera because it's just way too much work. I also have the columns figured out where I want them, so that looks pretty nice. Having this open to the water would be really cool. And I was also thinking, here, I'll just delete a couple more so you kind of get an idea of what I'm thinking here. So one of my problems is I need to lower this level down 1, which kind of stinks, doesn't it? So that sucks. I have to lower it by 1 because I want it down here on this level. But it's fine. I can do that. It's not that big of a deal. So I'll have to lower this whole bottom level by 1. I even have to do this section over here, which again is not that big of a deal. It's just gonna take some time because I didn't do it the first time. But I was also going to leave this open to the water, so there's like a little moat in between. I think that would be pretty cool. So just to kind of give you an idea of what that would look like, we would just see water down here. And this would be covering it. Again, I have to lower everything 1 so it'd be actually closer to the water. So that's kind of what I was thinking, is we can see the water. And that would be really cool. So if we look on the map here, look at how cool that looks. Come on. We got to do that. I think that'd be really sweet. So now you have an idea of what I am planning to do. I can actually finish up this build. It's going to be time consuming, to say the very least. And then this, with the trains up here, I had to make this wide enough to fit a train in. And yeah, we're pushing it. We're pushing the space. So this is way too big. We're pushing space. I might have to nudge it to here and then get like a thin wall to kind of come up the side. That would probably work the best. So just as an example, I'll throw in a freight platform. We'll have to put the freight coming out that side. And that's what I plan to do. I plan to get all trains to come in from over here. This takes a while. Give it a second. Yeah, so we got the train route over here. I plan to have them all come in, like, over this way. 'Cause I don't really need to clog up this any more than it already is. Like, this is already clogged. So, most of our stuff is going to be coming down this track here. And then I'll probably have it branch off and keep going. Or maybe I'll have it branch off and connect back up to here. That might be an idea. And then I can have it come down this way and jump over. So then I don't have to build a whole separate train line. Because we don't have that many trains over here. So that's probably a good idea. Because the only thing we got left to bring is the sulfur, the SAM, and uranium, and bauxite. And we also have a little bit of coal to bring too. So we don't have that much stuff to bring anymore. I mean, we got a bunch of trains to bring, but we don't have a whole lot of alternate objects, alternate items, I should say. We have, what, 5 more? We'll have to bring the rest of the limestone too, because that's for a future step. But, I mean, that's not so bad. So, we're getting close to utilizing all the trains, so we could... Having all the trains running would help identify if we have any issues. But so far the trains are running really well, but it also helps that I have multiple lines everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, hope you're enjoying the series so far. This build alone is going to be pretty big. That's why I split it into uranium fuel rods and processing the waste. Because it's just a massive build. Because we can do it all in this building here, which would be really cool. We'll have layers to this. So, I was thinking bottom layer, we could start with the uranium cells. We could start with, which one is that? Not that one. We could start with this one right here, infused uranium cells, which is what's going to require the sulfur and the uranium. So everything there requires that. We can get the silica and the quick wire really easily, so that's not a problem. And then a higher level will do maybe uranium fuel rods, which will take all those encased uranium cells. And then the 3 things we built in the last 2 episodes. So that shouldn't be too bad. And then an even higher level in a future episode, we could do the non-fissile uranium. But that's where we're going to have to take the fuel rods and send them over to the nuclear power plants over there, which is why we want to keep them close. We send them all there, all the waste comes back over, and we can make the non-fissile uranium, which would be pretty good. We'd have to take all that nitric acid. We'd have to produce some sulfuric acid here too. But the nitric acid from that building over there would have to come over here, and then more silica. We basically have to bring all the silica over here. So that's in the plans for this episode. But yeah, this is my plan for the building. All the production happens in the middle, and all the trains happen on the outside. And then we have a train spiral in the middle. I think that'd be really cool. So I'm gonna work on this some more. I gotta lower this whole bottom level by 1. And we'll be right back. Alright, I've been hard at work doing this, working on this. So if I turn around, there's a lot going on in here. Now I haven't finished everything, of course. I mean, what I got is I got the trains all running. I got this tornado in the middle. I'll show you that later. And I have 84 manufacturers down here. Most of them going around in the circle. There's 61 in the circle. And these are doing the encased uranium cells. I haven't connected anything yet because it's just a lot of work to begin with. So I have 1 uranium train here. This is coming from the Red Forest. In fact, there it is. And this is going to be highly radioactive. So But yeah, we got some uranium in here. It's not dropping off yet because I don't want to be working in radioactive area right at this moment. I'm going to save it till I'm actually ready. Over here I got the Dune Desert uranium, and this is bringing in 300. And then over there I have the Titan Forest uranium. And this is actually 2 different nodes of uranium. So I have one impure and one normal. So there's 5 cars there. That'll bring in 900 uranium. And then the other 300 is coming from on top of that mountain. And it's coming down as a belt. So we'll just have to belt that over when we're ready. And that's not all that we got going on here. But you can kind of see, here's all the manufacturers, the additional manufacturers on the outside there. And we have a sulfur train over here. So this sulfur train is coming from Dune Desert. There's actually 3 locations of the Dune Desert dropping off. And they all go out onto this train track here. I built a new one. And, oh, there's radioactive. And it just hops over. Whoa. It hops over the pipes here. And then it connects up with the train highway. So, it's a pretty simple connection. It just hops on over onto the train highway. And then we have a second floor here. And that is going to be the rest of our sulfur trains. So we have 3 more up here. So Dune Desert, there's 2 more Dune Deserts, and then there is the swamp. The swamp's way over there. So here's the other Dune Desert sulfur. And then I haven't put the manufacturers up here for the uranium fuel rod, but basically when I do that, I'm going to set it up something like that, and then it'll be uranium fuel unit, so that'll be ready whenever. And then I go to the other side and I line it up where the front of it is 1 foundation away. This is just how I'm setting it up, and make sure I'm far enough away from the train. So then I plop it down, and then I just build as many as I need, going around avoiding the train tracks. So the trains come into the center here. So there is a roundabout on the outside, and the train can get on and get off anywhere. And if we look at the path signal, you can see that the roundabout is all green, which means everything coming into the roundabout has to get permission from the path signals. And then if you want to get off, you jump off right here. And that takes you on the inner loop, and you go down all the way around, and you end up down here, and you get on this orange line here, which is another roundabout. So if you follow the outside loop there, it's a roundabout all the way around. You can get on and off wherever you need to. And the exit's over here, and the entrance is also over here, so it's pretty crazy. If you want to go up a floor, you come around the roundabout, and then you hit this junction here, and you take a left, and you're on the middle spiral. Then you spiral up until you get up to here, and then you have to check to make sure the roundabout's clear. Then you can hop on and do what you need to do. It's pretty cool. I like it. Hopefully you like it yourself, but I'm not going to ride it because I know some people get motion sick, especially going around in a circle like this. But you can kind of see how this looks. I mean, I call it the tornado, but you can call it whatever. You can call it crazy, you can call it overkill, that's fine, but I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Come on, you gotta admit that's pretty cool. And then I decorated it a little bit, so I tried to make it make sense, where it's thin where it's supporting it, and then it gets bigger as it gets to the support. So yeah, that's what I was trying to do. It acts as a cantilever, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that is basically what I've been working on. What I need to do is connect all these up to logistics, to belts, to everything, and then connect all of the outputs of this and build all the manufacturers of the fuel rods and connect the logistics of this, and then we can actually activate this and turn this place radioactive, and we can go from there. But for now, I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's looking cool. It's looking so cool. I love this. And then we can decorate the building too. So I don't know if I want to activate this before I decorate the building. I definitely don't want to do that. I'm probably going to decorate the building before we activate this. But I'll show you an intermediate step when I get all the logistics set up, and then we'll decorate the building, and then we'll activate all this. Sound good? Sound good. Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Let me tell you, I'm exhausted. This project is taking it out on me, man. It's crazy. It's nuts. I don't even remember the last thing I showed you. I think I showed you the machines before the logistics were installed. So now I get to show you when the logistics were installed. So, this is lift hell. Yeah. And it's because of the train tracks in the middle. The train track caused a mess here. So this level is really messy, as you can see. Oh man. The more I look at it, the more disgusted I am. But this is all of the 4 items that I need here. So the uranium, silica, sulfur, quickwire. All of it is on this level here. I don't remember which one's supposed to be what. I don't really think it matters all that much, as long as we get it right. Okay, this must be quickwire. Yeah, I think that's quickwire. The top level's quickwire. Figured that one out. But yeah, this thing became a mess down here. And I'm not a fan of it, but I don't really know how to make it look better. That's the reality. I don't know how to make this look better. So they all combine. The outside ring combines into one line, and then we send that up to the next floor. The inside ring combines into one line, and I send that up to the next floor. Let me see if I can find that here. This is such a large project. Nope, not it yet. It's one of these. I swear. We're almost there. I promise. It's somewhere around here. Let's see. So, yep, there it is. So right here is where we send it all up. So on the inside ring, we are sending 500 encased uranium cells. On the outside ring, we are sending 720 uranium cells. And then on the very outside, those ones on the outside here, let me get rid of the fog here because it's kind of hard to tell a lot of things here. So those manufactured there, and then there's some in that corner over there, and some over in that corner. Those all combine into one, and I think it's like 460. And so we send that all up to the next level. So we follow this here. This one goes here. And then we send it up to the next level. And... oh no, I didn't know that was clipping. I'm gonna have to fix that. But anyways. Yeah, so we send our encased uranium cells here and here. And then the ones that were on the outside ring went over there all the way around and started on the last manufactured way over there. So we'll go take a look at that here pretty soon. The gist of this is we have two rings again. So the blue line is the outer ring from below. The white line is the inner ring from below. And the green line is from the outer section from below. So that's how I split this up. We have three colored buildings, blue, white, and green. So that should really help. So if we go around, this one's actually a lot more neat. You can actually see there's a pattern to this. So the point of kicking it out like this is because we have these lifts over here. So if we kick it out and send it back, and we just repeat that pattern, we can fit our lifts in here without it clipping, which is really nice. So that's a tip for you if you want to use that, especially if you're doing this in a circular shape. This is definitely helpful. But we have that whole line over here. This is basically the starting line of almost everything except for some of the encased uranium cells. But basically this green line here is the encased uranium cells, and then the red, purple, and blue is everything else that is being produced elsewhere. So electromagnetic control rods, crystal oscillators, rotors. Those are all coming in from somewhere else. So electromagnetic control rods is that top floor in that building. Crystal oscillators is that top floor in that building, and rotors is in that building right there. And I combined them all onto this belt system here. There are no crystal oscillators because I needed some for these lights because I used all of my crystal oscillators. So that was fun. We can connect these because it doesn't matter if they fill up. It's completely fine. So we might as well just connect these up, let them fill up as much as they can. And you'll see we go down this route here. And it just goes on this up here. It's pretty cool to watch. So it'll start filling up one by one. And once we get some crystal oscillators, we'll start filling these up. And then we're not going to start producing any of these until we're ready to. So that'll be later. Yeah. So we just got to let these fill up. They're going to go down this line here. There's 20 manufacturers here. And there's 64 manufacturers in the middle there. So we'll go down this line first. And then they all come to the end here. And they go in this stack. Oh, I forgot to attach that. That is completely fine. And there we go. So, all of that should be connected now. We're good to go. Then they go over here. And they start in the outer ring. And so we'll start on the outer ring here. It'll go all the way around. And then it comes here. And then it goes to the inner ring. And then goes all the way back around. And it ends right here. Which is pretty crazy. That is crazy. So then we take all of our uranium fuel rods. Which, by the way, 84 by 0.6 is 50.4. We're producing a ton of uranium fuel rods. We'll take them all and combine them into one single line. And they go... These belt lines are so long. This building is massive. We'll send this all the way over here. And then we also collect all of them in the middle here. And they merge on this merger right here. So this comes from over here. That merges together from here and over there. And that's this whole ring around here. It's crazy. And we send this up and over. And what we're going to do with it for now is we are actually just going to put it into storage. We're going to, once we start activating this, we're just going to let it start collecting some uranium fuel rods. So I set up a storage system way over there so that hopefully I don't hopefully I'm not radioactive all the time, because I'm gonna have to set up a waste processing facility. And I figured we could have this factory running and collecting while we're building the rest of it, which would be really nice. And yeah, that'd be really cool. So yeah, this has been a nightmare to set up. I'm not ready to activate everything yet, but there is a couple things I can turn on, or I can connect up here. So this step down here requires uranium, which we're not going to include right now. Silica, sulfur, quick wire. So we can set that up here. I know I had a belt in the ceiling somewhere. I don't remember what it was though. Okay, so this right here. And basically I think this is sulfur. Yeah, that's sulfur. So I just take this and I connect it up to there. We can get sulfur spewing into these manufacturers. There we go. And then that hops on over and goes over here. So yeah, this is gonna be a good way to check that I have everything connected as well. So that's one sulfur. I know I have more. I don't know where though. I do have these as well, so I could connect these up here. So here's my quick wire. We might as well hook these up. Get the autosave done. Quick wire to there. Quick wire to there. And quick wire to there. So that's going to be really cool looking. Then we also have quick wire under here, which I got to figure out how to get under here. There we go. So that can get going. Then we also have quick wire over here that we can get going. So we'll grab this one. And we also have silica here, which we will turn to straight mode. We'll start connecting that up. The silica is going to start flowing in. I know I have another silica over here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So I got this silica here. I feel like I was supposed to merge some silica. I'll figure that out later. Yeah, I think I was supposed to do something with this silica as well. Merge it together with this one. I can't remember. I'll figure it out. Wait, no. The blue line there takes care of that. I already took care of it. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. So yeah, we can see stuff moving. It's a lot of crap, man. It's a lot of crap. So yeah, we should start seeing a lot of this getting filled up. That's nice. I do know I need more sulfur to come in. We have some. But I know I've had more sulfur lines. I just don't remember where they're at, which sucks. So we'll go to the train stations. We can follow those train lines here because we'll know which ones are being used and which ones aren't. So it looks like that one's being used. That's good. So that means the other one that should be getting used is this one over here. This one might not be getting used. Let's take a look. And the reality is no, it is not being used because I think we have to connect this one here. If I were to take this to that, would that solve my problem? Yep, there we go. And there goes all the sulfur. Okay, so all of these should be filling up with sulfur, quick wire, and silica. Uranium, we are not going to allow to come in. I think they're all connected though. I'll have to double check that. I think all the uranium's fully connected. So this one here, for example, comes all the way around here. And this is one of my uranium trains. The reason why this isn't dropping off is because I have this set to load. As soon as I want to kick this on, I just have to change all of these uranium ones to unload. But I don't want to do that right now just because of the sheer terribleness that I'm going to have to deal with if I have to struggle with being radiated all the time. I just don't want to right now. Then I also want to plop down a bunch of these bad boys. I want to plop a bunch of these down. So if you remember, uranium fuel rod burn at 0.2 per minute. I make a 50.4 divided by 0.2. I need 252 uranium fuel rods. And each of these at 100% clock speed requires 240 water per minute. And if I am to do that, and if I want 1 water extractor per nuclear power plant, I have to double overclock this. I have to make this 200% clock speed. So if you do the math, what was it? 252 times 2 is 504 power shards. Now, that's just for the uranium step. We need to do this for the plutonium and the fixonium, and I think the total came out to over 1,000 power shards. I didn't have 1,000 power shards, and I also didn't have time to go hunting for it. But my good friend Rotors came into this world and started hunting for me. And I definitely have enough power shards right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1,039. Plus, I also have an additional 500. So I have over 1,500 power shards. So thank you so much, Rotors, for helping me get this. Rotors is sitting somewhere in this world. I just don't know where she decided to sit down. Oh, there she is. There's Rotors. She's sitting at one of my train stations. So, perfect. That's wonderful. So yeah. Let me do something with this building to make it look nicer. And then I'll be back. Alright. It's official. I have gone insane. This project has sent me over the edge. But no, I actually, I got this decorated. Got the inner one decorated with some windows and some black and green. Trying to make it look uranium and radioactive. And then the outer one I actually did, I did similar black and green. Added a little bit of yellow. So it's more radioactive and the green is more prominent on the outside. Whereas on the inside, the black is more prominent. So that's basically the gist of that. I'll show you more detailed view of it soon. I just want to show you this. Yeah, that's a lot of nuclear power plants. Now, let me show you something else. So this is 6 by 21. That is 126 nuclear power plants. I need another level of this. Or I could double overclock each of these, and I would only need this level. So I could probably show you that if I have some power slugs on me. I can get some power shards. So currently this would burn 0.2 per minute. So I can do the math and kind of show you why we have to make 252. So we're making 50.4 right now divided by 0.2 burn rate per nuclear power plant. That's 252 of these bad boys. So if we were to double overclock that, we can divide it by 2, and that's 126. And I would have built all of the nuclear power plants that I need for this section alone. I might actually do that. That sounds great. So that means 21 by 6 by 2 is 252 power shards. And then we will need, if we do 2 double overclock, we would need 480 water per minute. And that would be 2 water extractors double overclocked. So before it was 1 water extractor. So we have 252 water extractors times 2. That's 504. And then it'd be plus 126 by 2. We would need a total of 756 power shards if we were to do this. Which is insane. That's insane. But it's doable. I have enough power shards. I can do that. And I might just have to go hunting for power shards, or have Grottos hunt for power shards for me again at another time. So that's the plan. I could add a second level, or I could just power shard everything. I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm going to decide between episodes. But I do want to show you the general design of this, and I can take you inside and out, and then we can also actually connect up the machines and have that get started, because that'll be exciting. So let's come over here. This is a pretty cool view here. We can see all the buildings, and then this one's just far away because it's a problem if it's not. But here we go. I'll get a little bit further back, and then we can kind of see I did 2 different walls here. I have metal beams on the bottom here, so this is a steel beam wall that I did. I can't show you for some reason because I have all blueprints here. There we go. So this is just a bunch of metal beams to kind of get this like shingle effect, and then I put a glass window here. And that's really all I did. And I just built that all the way up. And it's white and green, good combo. Then up above is, I called it the uranium wall. Basically, it's just an offset wall. This is very similar to the rocket fuel building, if you watched that episode. It's very, very similar to that, but yeah, it's black and yellow. Combine it with the green, it looks pretty good. So those are the 2 build tiles I used. And that is great. It adds a little bit of depth on this one, so that's always nice to see. A little bit of depth. And then on the corners, since this one sticks out a little bit, the corners get a little funky. So I figured I can show you what we're doing on the corner here. So I just kind of filled in the gap there, and then I put inverted corners up the side. I think that looks pretty cool, so you let me know what you think of that. I can just bust out a window here. I'll have to put a door in later. So we got all of these ready to go. I don't remember if I connected them. Yeah, I think I did connect those. So all I need to do to get this thing active, and I can't do anything until this leaves, so that's going to take a while to come back. I'm curious how much uranium's actually in here. It should be full. It is almost full. But anyways, all we have to do is unload, and we're ready to go. I gotta get to all of my uranium trains and get ready to go. This is a little nerve-wracking because this is gonna tell me if it works or if it doesn't. Oh, that uranium train just left too. Well, we're gonna be waiting for a while, so hit unload on these as well. And that goes that way, and it's ready to go. Okay. And then the last uranium train is past the tornado. It's autosave. Come on. The tornado. The tornado's so cool. I love the tornado. Yeah, the last train we got is over here. If I can slide jump, please. But you can kind of see what the building looks like from inside. This is pretty cool. You get a full view of the tornado from in here. I love that. And then you can see the green walls over here. I think it's pretty cool. So you get a nice, good tour inside. The last trains that we need to set to unload are these. So let's do that right away. Hopefully we can get it done. Now we just need to wait for... Ooh, we could actually set up the uranium belt as well. I forgot I have a uranium belt I need to set up. That I don't remember where it needs to go. So we got a bunch of yellows over here. Oh yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Yep, because all of our stuff is over there. That comes down this way. And all we have to do is follow this. I actually think I have this set up and ready to go. Man, Past Me was so smart. I almost forgot about this, but Past Me did it. Oh, man. Good thing Past Me knew what he was doing. Because current me had no idea what I'm doing. Oh, man. So, let's go over here. That should be this yellow one here. And all I have to do is connect that. And there we go. And there's a high radiation level, because of course there is. So now this building's going to be radiated just by proximity. Yep. Look at that. So just by being here, I'm going to be radiated. But it's not too bad. So that's good. That was what I was trying to avoid for the longest time. But here we go. We should start seeing some of this kick on as soon as all of our trains come back and as soon as this kicks on. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. So let's take a look at this and we'll see. This whole place is about to get radiated. So get ready for that. And I'm telling that to myself, not to you, because I need to deal with the radiation, not you. So let's see, where is that uranium? Come on, uranium. Come on. We can take a look at the map too to see. That was sulfur. All of our uranium trains will be up on this level. That's sulfur, uranium. I don't see any other uraniums. Oh boy. They're far away, I think. Oh, that's one uranium train. Okay, whatever. Well, there's that. So, we are producing encased uranium cells now. And that will go over there. Now we can follow this along. And that is actually going to go to the next floor, which I have an elevator over here. And we can go up to the next floor and see if any uranium fuel rods are being produced. Let's see how this goes. I got plenty of stuff on here. But the uranium cells are going to come on this green line here. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. So, the question is, are we going to produce uranium fuel rods anytime soon? I don't know. I don't even know where the connection is. Allegedly, it's over here. I don't know. It might take a while to figure out where everything is. I gotta see if we're even producing anything yet. Does it come all the way over? Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. 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 There it is. There you are. Holy mackerel. Let's go. Are these not radiated? No, they're not. Interesting. Encased uranium cells are not radiated. Whatever. That's cool. So I just want to ride this belt here. This is pretty fun. I love it. And then we'll try to hop off. Are we gonna produce any? We need 100? Oh boy. Okay. I didn't realize it needed 100 of these bad boys. That might take a while. I just want to see one get produced. Come on. Anyways, it's still pretty cool. It's pretty cool looking. Oh, something's radioactive. Oh, that's below. That's the train below. We should poke a hole in the floor and go below. Yep, there's the train. That should be dropping off a ton of uranium. Here we go. Get ready for this ballistic drive of uranium. You ready for it? Holy moly. Oh, look at all that uranium. And that's empty. Oh, that's so beautiful. So then this goes to the purple stuff, which should start filling up in here relatively soon. There you go. We're going to start making some encased uranium cells there, which is actually going to combine with this line, which should help. That'll be nice. Okay, that's really cool. So this whole line should be getting filled up now, and then once we get to the end, we go up and over there. Boom. Wow. Wow. That is epic looking. And they're all gonna be full. That's totally fine. Oh, that's so crazy. So radioactive too. And then all we need to do is check over here how things are going. And they're filling up. So we should be producing encased uranium cells like a madman. Everything is so radioactive over here. Alright, the question is, has any of these started producing? Yes, they have. Oh, that is sweet. Let's see what they got going on over here. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, they're producing. They're so slow. Wow, they're slow. Have we even made one yet? These only hold 200 in a stack. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. That's pretty good though. I like that. So, I do have a storage container specifically for uranium fuel rods. We should go check that out. See if we have any in there. I don't think this is gonna be starting up for a while. It's a long startup time. It's a very, very long startup time. Let's take a look over here at this location here. Do we have anything? Yes, we have 6 of them. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we're already getting some. That's pretty cool. I like that. So that'll do it for this episode. This episode was absolutely insane. These machines I'm gonna leave running because I do want to stockpile up some uranium fuel rods. I'm gonna leave these run. Everything's running. And then when we're ready to start producing stuff with the uranium fuel and the uranium waste, we can handle that pretty soon. So the next episode is going to be 2 things we got to build, and we don't have to bring anything in from outside. First thing we need to do is sulfuric acid. So that's just sulfur and water. We already have the sulfur on the trains down below. So all I have to do is grab the remaining sulfur and make a bunch of sulfuric acid. And the other thing we need to make is non-fissile uranium. And you'll understand why I'm making sulfuric acid, because we need sulfuric acid in this step. We're also making nitric acid, so we just have to bring the nitric acid from our plant that we're producing it at. We already have silica. We just got to bring the silica over. And then the uranium waste will come from the nuclear power plant. So, the cool thing about this, and I'll explain this in the next episode as well, just in case you miss it here, is 15 sulfuric acid per minute is required, and we get a byproduct of 15 water per minute. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. And if you look at sulfuric acid, it is a 1-to-1 ratio. So, all I have to do for this system to work is provide a buffer of water for sulfuric acid, and then I can cut the pump from this. I don't have to provide it any more water, because this will produce the byproduct of water to go back into the system, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. That is pretty crazy. I like that. So what I might actually end up doing is when I make the sulfuric acid refineries, I might put like a fluid buffer, fill up that fluid buffer, so then when that's full I can cut the water pump, and then the fluid buffer will handle the recycling of the water. So that'll be really cool. But yeah, that's basically the plan for the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a nightmare. I spent so long on this episode. Let me just show you. Let me just show you here. I'm just gonna name this NPP 12.10, Nuclear Power Plant 12.10. And I am, how many hours into this? The saving takes so long nowadays. I'm 447 hours, 41 minutes, and 46 seconds. I ended episode 11 at 410 hours, 18 minutes, and 34 seconds. I have spent 37 hours doing this. That's a lot of time, a lot of effort. But I think it'll be worth it. So the next episode should be really simple. I don't think we're going to have a lot of problems there. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.